Alright, it's recording.
Okay.
Okay. So, Alexander is going to go first. He rolled highest.
Alright.
First things that you do is, on the beginning of every turn, is you draw a new deeds card.
Alright.
The deeds cards look like that. They are unique for every character.
Okay, so that's what these are?
Yeah, these are your deeds cards.
We'll make these cards.
So, you start the game, everybody starts with 2 deeds cards in their hand. You can go ahead and draw those.
So I have one here.
Well, no, that's a fate card.
Fate
Alex
card.
gave that to you ahead of time. You're not supposed to, but...
Okay.
Okay, so draw 2 deeds cards from your deck.
Okay.
Okay, then everybody also gets 1 fate card.
And they go up face up.
Yes. Well, technically the deeds cards should be hidden in your hand, but we're playing open-handed so that everybody can learn.
Alright.
Okay? Most of your deeds cards you can only play during your turn. Some of them are special that you can play during other people's turns, like this one here is like a counterspell type of card. You can play it on other people's turns to cancel the effect of something else that's going to hit you. But any other ones that have...
Yeah, it's like an oh no, you don't.
Like this symbol here, the hand, that means it's an action card that can only be played on your turn.
Which one?
The ones with the hand symbol.
Do I have any with the hand symbol?
No, you don't.
This one has a hand symbol.
Oh yeah, okay, that one, you do. Okay. That one is you swap fates with somebody else. So if somebody else has a fate card that you like better, you can take it from them and you give them yours.
Those are curses.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones that have this red cloud symbol are curses. Generally they're bad, but you will have to play them on yourself eventually. You can try to work around them, and there are some cards that can get rid of them, but generally speaking, they'll build up in your hand, and then you're going to have to get rid of them at some point.
And so as long as that's in front of me, I can only roll 1 die for movement forever?
Well, once it's in play. Right now, these are technically just in your hand.
Okay.
We'll get into more of it later, but generally speaking, the goal of this game, Fate, Deeds, and Glory, is to become the most glorious of the adventurers. Right? So we are all adventurers in this land, trying to save the land. We're also, you can also work together. There are multiple paths to victory. You can do team win, where everybody wins. The goal for that is that every one of the major enemies, there's 4 of them, like 1 per region, right? This is the forest. The major enemy is Wyla the Witch. On the beach, the major enemy is Karos the Kraken. On the mountains,
Deathfang the Dragon.
Yes, Deathfang the Dragon. And in the swamp, it's Tallbottom the Troll.
Okay.
Once all 4 of them are destroyed, when the first time one of them is dead, we'll put a marker on it to indicate that they're dead.
And you can fight it when they're dead.
Yeah, you can continue fighting them later to keep on getting glory and treasure and such.
Okay.
But once all 4 of them are dead, and we make it back to the castle, the whole group wins.
Okay.
You can also win individually if one of us has enough glory. In a 3-player game, it's
10?
I think it's 15 or 16. I'll look it up later. But if one of us gets enough glory, and they also have a treasure, they can make it back to the castle before anybody else, and they can win just by themselves.
Okay.
Okay. There's also an opportunity that everyone can lose. We're all fighting against the calamities of the land, right?
Okay.
Certain event cards here are what are called calamities, and when a certain number of those build up, then the game is over. They are certain kinds of plagues and curses.
Yeah, but some of those are good.
That's true. The event cards are about 50-50. Some are good, some are bad. Treasures are all good for the most part. There are some cursed treasures, though, so watch out for those.
Yeah, like Gauntlet of the Cheese Touch.
Yes. And then the fates, those are like your quests, your destinies. You have to try to fulfill those. You can only have 2 fates in play at any time. If you get a 3rd one, then the oldest of the fates goes into penalty, and you take a negative.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to try to fulfill your destinies if you can. That's why cards like that, where you can swap fates with people, that helps. So you can actually grab things that you're going to use and that you can accomplish.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just start, and we'll answer any other questions as we go.
Right.
Alexander, you rolled highest to start with, so you're gonna go ahead. You already drew your card, even though you're not supposed to. All right, so at the beginning of your turn, you draw a card, and then you roll. So you've got an 8. Now we all start here in the center, which is the castle. You can pop out from the castle at any of these squares that have the castle symbol. So the path, the swamp, the forest path, the beach path, the mountain path. Okay, you pop out on any of those. The board's arranged so that a 7 will automatically take you to a major enemy. So you can go from there. An 8 If you go in the forest, you'll be lost in the woods and you'll lose a turn.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to this beach, you'll encounter a sea serpent.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the mountain, you'll end up in an ancient cavern, and that'll give you the opportunity to swap out deeds cards,
Mm-hmm.
which would be nice if that were you, because you can get rid of your curse.
Okay.
And then the swamp, an 8 would take you to the Pitcher Plants of Peril, another encounter. It's a minor enemy. Okay, Alexander, he doesn't have any fighting cards in his hand. The fight cards have this symbol on them right here, and this tells you that they're all fight cards.
What symbol is that?
It's this one here.
Okay.
Okay. You don't have any fight cards either, so generally speaking, you guys don't want to run into encounters. Although minor enemies, you can just ignore them. If you land on a major enemy, you have to fight it, or you have to run away, like a coward. So, it's up to Alex. He can choose which space he wants to land on. He's got an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you want to go to? You can go to Lost in the Woods, the Sea Serpent, the Ancient Cavern, or the Pitcher Plants of Peril.
I'm gonna go to the ancient cavern.
Okay. So, count it out. You start 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So, read the Ancient Cavern. What does it do for us?
Okay. You may discard one deeds card and then get another.
Yeah, so all of these yellow paths here on the bottom row,
Mm-hmm.
those are things that will always happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, here, you're always going to draw a deeds card for
Okay.
landing on here. First things, though, is if you want, you're allowed to discard a deeds card.
These are deeds cards.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, they all have this purple D diamond.
Oh, so I can get another, or...
Yeah, you're definitely going to get another one. But
But you have to
first, you have to decide if you want to discard one other one, you can. You don't have to, but you may.
I don't really want to.
Okay, so just draw a new one. You're going to go up to 4. Okay?
Smoke screen.
Oh, that's an interesting one, too. That's kind of like the counter. Okay, but it can also be used as an escape. Okay? Now, there's also another part of the turn where if you haven't played any deeds cards at all during your turn, you have to play one if you are able. Okay? So that's how those curses might be forced into
Okay.
play. Alexander has 2 of these sort of counter cards, which are situational, so you can't really use those, but these ones are actions.
Mm-hmm.
This one is swapping treasures.
Mm-hmm.
If I can grab it.
If we have 2 treasures,
Mm-hmm.
then I can swap.
Swap treasures with another player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no treasures on the board. So this is the only one that you actually legally can play. So
Mhm.
sadly, you have to right now. Okay? And it says that you swap fates with somebody. So you can swap with me, or you can swap with Papa. You want to swap with me? Okay. So you're giving me the fate of boiling the Kraken, which is the quest to defeat Karos. That's kind of a hard one. You should have to land right on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he took Test Your Metal, which is much easier. You just have to defeat any enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was a good move. And your turn.
Now, does he keep that card?
No, that's discarded. Once
That's
you use it,
discarded.
it's gone.
Okay.
Okay. And then that's the end of your turn.
Okay.
So play continues to the left,
To me or to you?
clockwise. So it would be me. At the beginning of my turn, I draw another deeds card. Okay, so I've got 2 fight cards here. So if I land on an enemy, I probably want to do that and defeat the enemy. So I'll roll and see what I get. I got
Yeah,
6.
and you can kill later.
Okay, so hopping out of the castle, I've got a couple options. I can go to the Treant. I can go to the Sudden Squall, which will move me back some spaces. I can go to the Rock Slide, which again is sort of a move back space. Or I can go to Reptiles of Unusual Size. Let's see.
So it's basically fight or get knocked back.
Right. I'm going to go over here to, which one am I? I'm this one. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the Wild Treant. And I'm going to fight the Wild Treant. So to fight him, you play a fight card, and you win. The minor enemies only require 1 fight card, so I discard this. Now this is a special fight card. When I use it, I also gain an extra glory point. Okay, so I play that, it's discarded. Also, the Wild Treant has, in this gray section, it'll tell you what his rewards are.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a minor enemy. He gives, that means he needs just 1 fight card to defeat. And he normally just gives 1 treasure for defeating him. So I will draw my treasure for defeating him. I got a Claymore. Claymore. Some of those treasures are disposable. Some of them are permanent. You can have a maximum of 4 treasures in your inventory. If you
I
get more
like
than
the
that, you have to
Zephyr
discard them.
biscuit.
Yes,
The
that's an
purple
interesting
spoon.
one too. Okay, and then I'm also going to get a glory point for using my glorious victory card. We're going to use
And you can
white
use that
poker
over and
chips.
over and over again?
No, this is discarded now.
Okay.
Pokey chips.
Poker chips.
Aw.
So the poker chips represent your glory points. Okay, those are important to decide, who gets to win at the end of the game.
Okay.
All right, so I got one of those. Now
Now, do you have to discard that?
I did discard it. This is my discard
Oh,
pile.
that's your discard.
Yeah.
So that goes over here. Okay.
Right. Okay, so that's the encounter part of the space. Now the part of the space that always happens will be an event, and then I'll get another deeds card. And you always resolve these from left to right, so the events always happen first.
Yep.
I'll draw it. Okay, so the event that we got here is called the Plague of Misdirection. Okay, this symbol here indicates that this is a calamity card. Okay, once a certain number of those build up, depending on how many players are in the game, that's your lose condition. So with 3 players, the calamity cards I believe are 9. So if we ever overturn 9 of these, then the game is immediately over and we lose.
And we'll lose.
Right, so we have an impetus to move quickly in this. The Plague of Misdirection will affect the target. It'll affect all heroes. Okay, so from now on, forever, basically, until the curse is broken, we will all move tokens counterclockwise instead of clockwise on any movement roll that shows an odd number. Okay? If it's an even number, then we continue clockwise. So it's a little bit of confusion type thing. All these curses, too, that are ongoing have a break condition as well. Now, this symbol means anything that's red minus means discard. So if anybody discards 2 movement cards, the movement cards are deeds cards, or discards 2 glory points, they can break this curse for everybody. Okay, so somebody has to man up and take that responsibility on themselves to get rid of this at
Right,
some
so it
point.
says here break. Any hero minus 2 T's.
But
Right.
you're a girl.
Okay.
It doesn't
You're not
matter if I'm
supposed
a
to
girl.
man up because you're a girl.
But,
Oh, Gwendolyn can man up with the best of them.
alright, so, but I don't have any T's.
Right. I have 1 treasure. I have the
Right.
Claymore. But we will get more treasures as the
Alright.
time
So to break that curse, if I had any T's, I could play this card, play 2 of these, and that would break that curse.
Well, no. This is the break condition for this card.
Oh.
To break
okay.
this curse, once it's in play.
Oh, this is a curse.
Right. That's
Okay.
its own curse. This is a different curse.
Okay.
This curse is affecting everybody. So anybody can break it if they discard 2
And
of those
so
or 2 of
that's
these.
that's a curse that affects everybody. This curse
Yes.
only affects me, so there's only 1 curse on the board.
Yes, on the board. That's still in your hand right now.
Okay.
Some curses will affect everybody, even when they come from your hand. They all have a target. So this target
Okay.
says it targets
Just me.
stateless,
Okay.
which is you. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the end of my turn. Oh, wait, no, it's not actually. That was the event card. I also get a free deeds card, so
Okay.
I will draw that, put it into my hand. Okay, this is a movement card indicated by the green movement. Okay, that's one of the things that's required to break this curse. So if I discarded this, that would be halfway. Okay, but I'm gonna hold on to it for now.
Alright.
Okay.
Will we get 2
So
glory?
play is going to move to clockwise.
Alright. Now this
To
curse says I only get to roll 1 white die for movement.
Yes.
That's in effect right now.
No.
No.
Those are all in your hand still. We're playing open-handed.
Okay.
Okay. If you play that card into play, then it will take effect.
How do I
Okay.
play it into play?
You choose to play it at any
Okay.
time.
So if I roll a odd number, I can choose to play this.
No, what you roll in the dice doesn't have any influence on what these are in your hand. Okay. The cards in your hand you play at certain times. So the cursed cards. Remember, Alex had to play a card at the end of his turn because he didn't. I didn't have to do it because I played a card during my turn,
Okay.
so I wasn't forced to do something different.
Okay.
Depending on what you roll or what you land on, you may have to play a card or whatever.
Right.
You're also going to draw a new deeds card at the beginning of your turn before you roll.
Okay. So I draw this.
Yes, you're going to be
And
up
it
to
goes
3.
over here.
Well, your deeds cards you should keep all
Okay,
together. That's like your
that goes
hand.
here.
Okay.
All right. So then, do I have to do anything now?
No, the next step is to roll.
Next step is to roll.
Yep. And if you have movement cards like this, you can use these during your roll to influence the dice roll. So I could discard this card and use it at any time to add 3 to a dice roll.
Okay.
Okay. And I can use that actually on anybody's dice rolls, so my own or Alexander's or Papa's.
All right. Now this one says target me, and the effect is instead of rolling movement dice as normal, I can roll a single die.
Yes.
And if I roll a 1 to 3, I move the token number of spaces as shown, 4 to 6. I can place my hero, my token, anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really interesting card. It's
Okay.
called the Experimental Sending card. It's unique to Daedalus the Tinker. So yeah, it tells you when to play it. It says instead of rolling dice. So if you wanted to, you could do that right now. Generally speaking, landing on a specific space can be kind of difficult sometimes. So if you had
Right.
a fate like this one, like Bowl of the Kraken, where you had to land specifically on Karos the Kraken, that would be good to help you with that fate.
Okay, and the D up here means it's just me.
That means it's a deeds card. That means
deeds card,
you
okay.
can hold it in your hand.
And the hand means
That means it's an action card. You
it's
can
an
play it
action
during
card.
your turn
I
only.
can play it on your main card, my turn. Okay, so I have to roll,
Okay.
and I get a whole 2.
Yep. So.
Right, so I can go anywhere. I can go here to here,
Mhm.
but that's not a good place to be.
And that's an even number.
Well, Blood Moon's not really terrible. It will trigger an event card, which generally.
Yeah, not a real good idea.
Yeah, not a super safe bet, but you might get a deeds card.
Right,
If you
or
do
I can
that.
go here.
Yep, that would be a fight, which it's a minor enemy, so you could just ignore it. But you will get a free deeds card if you land there, which helps.
Okay.
Same thing with this here, the Dire Mosquitoes. You will get a deeds card, but that will also trigger an event.
Which I don't want to do necessarily.
Generally
It
speaking.
may.
And if I go there,
it
I'd
may
also-
be good.
To the hidden
it
catch,
may be
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
Right.
So the best thing to do would be to go here,
That's the safest long term.
the safest long term. So I'll go here.
Okay.
I can ignore the enemy,
Yes, the Duragar there will not bother you unless you pick a fight with them. So.
and
you're
I
fine.
don't want to because now can I beat him by rolling the dice?
No. You can only beat enemies with fight cards.
Fight cards.
These
I don't
fight
have any
cards.
fight cards.
Right, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to remind you.
But there's a D on here, which means
Which means you'll draw an extra deeds card.
okay, and the T means
That's treasure, but it's the reward for defeating the Duragar.
okay, and I can't repeat him because I don't have
Exactly.
anything to defeat him with. So
Right.
I just get another one of these.
Yep,
You
get
can't
another deeds
repeat
card.
him.
Okay.
You can't repeat him.
All right. Now spring boots. This has this blue thing here, which means
That's green.
It's moving.
well, that's movement, and it
Yeah.
means I can move 2 more,
Plus 2.
plus 2, anytime I want to.
Well, sort of. You use the card, like when somebody's rolling a die, and it adds 2 to the total.
Whether it's me or anybody else.
Yes.
So
You
if
can
I
use
want
that
to
on
help somebody else, I can help somebody else by playing that.
Well, that's not always a help. Sometimes going to hurts them.
Why would I want to hurt anybody?
Well, that's up to you.
Okay.
If you want to be the glory
Okay, now
hound,
hold
that will
on.
help.
Since you didn't play any deeds cards, yeah, you have to play a deeds card.
I have to play one of these.
Yes.
Yes.
You cannot play this one. Remember, this happens only during your movement. Also, this is a
Okay.
movement card, so you can't play that one right now either.
Okay.
So you either have to play the curse or the change of plans, which will swap fates with somebody. Normally, I would say try to not use the curses, because there might be things you can get rid of them later, but sometimes you don't have a choice.
So I can change fates with anybody else. Anybody else have
That's
a
true.
fate?
Everybody has a fate, yeah. We all start with one.
Right.
I have a fate to boil the Kraken. You have the fate called To the Rescue.
You have to help somebody in a battle.
Right, helping people in battle is interesting. Basically, when you're in the same region as somebody and they're in a fight, you can basically hand them a fight card and say, "Here, why don't you use this in your fight?" And that would fulfill this destiny. Okay, but you have to have a fight card in your hand. You don't have one yet. You can also give them escape cards. Okay.
So if I traded this to you, this would help you.
Well, sort of. It's just this would be my fate, and you would get this one. So it's
But
just
neither one of
fates.
us is here yet.
Right.
So
So it doesn't help anybody immediately, but
But
the strategy might be,
okay,
that you
and
think
right
you
now
can
you're over
accomplish this.
there, and I'm over here.
Right. So I'll probably
But-
be the next one to maybe run into Karos. Maybe
Because
not.
you can run across this path,
Yes.
and but I would have to go this path.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you roll an odd number though, because of this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you roll a 5, you'll be on Karos because of this curse.
Yeah.
Odd numbers go backwards.
But if I had that card, then I could come here and defeat him.
Well, sort of. This card is if you manage to land there and defeat him, then you can turn this in.
Okay.
This card doesn't let you just warp. This is a
But
condition.
this card.
Yeah, that card is the one
If
that
I
might help you.
if I place this and rolled a 4, 5, or 6,
Mhm.
I could go here, and if I
Right.
had that card, I could defeat Karos.
No, this card doesn't let you defeat him. This gives you bonuses if you do defeat him. You still have to use your own fight cards in order
Oh.
to defeat him.
And I don't have a fight card.
You don't have it yet, no.
Okay, so
So going to him, yeah, you can get there. That's half of it, but the other half is you actually have to have the cards to defeat him.
All right.
Now, other people could help you if they're in the same region as you. But
They have to be in the same region, and nobody else is.
Right. The being in the same region thing is something that I might have to change because it seems like it doesn't occur all that often. But we'll see about that.
Well, right now, Alex and I are.
Yeah, you currently are.
All right, so I have to trade one of these.
You have to play one.
I have to play.
And you
I
cannot
have to play
either.
one.
Yeah, you can't play any of the movement ones. So you either have to hit yourself
It
with a
would have to be
curse,
this one?
or you have to play the swapping of fates.
I have to play this, or
the
hit
curse.
myself with this.
Yeah, you can't do the other ones.
Now, but if I hit this one, it says break any hero.
Yeah, any hero can break it if they sacrifice 2 treasures.
But
so somebody else can help you.
But nobody has any.
Nobody has 2 treasures yet. We will.
Right.
Well, you have a treasure,
I have
but
one.
not 2.
Yeah, he only has one. So if I play this, I can only roll 1 die.
Yes.
And that stays in effect for how long?
Until it's broken. It'll stay for the whole game if nobody ever sacrifices anything for it.
Okay.
Or if you don't get rid of it some other way.
Now, next time I roll, I would be only able to roll 1 die.
Yeah. Which again is, I don't know,
Yeah.
not always terrible.
Not always terrible, no.
Right.
What's this?
That's the volcanic ridge.
Okay.
It says you may sacrifice
2
2
treasures
and
or
2
movement.
and if you do, you gain 3 glory points.
No, but I don't have 2 treasures or 2 movements.
Exactly. So you can't take advantage of that.
But it would also trigger an event.
But remember, there's no way you could land on that because 1s will take you backwards. If you roll a 1, you'll be there. If you roll a 2, you'll be there. If you roll a 3, you'll be there. This one kind of makes things a little bit confusing sometimes, but it's an interesting card.
Because I'm only going to be able to roll 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if I roll a 1, it takes me back 2 spaces.
Backward 1.
Backwards 1.
Odds just mean.
Well, if I roll a 1, it would take me back here.
No, if you roll a 1, you'll go backward.
Oh.
1. 0 would bring you back to the same place, but you're not going to roll a 0.
Yeah.
And if I roll a 2,
then you'll go forward 2 to the spire.
1, 2.
At the
Oh, I
spire.
see. If I roll a 3,
it's not going to take you there. It'll go backwards. 1, 2, 3 to low tide.
oh, I see. And a 5 would take me here.
Yeah, to Karos.
Ouch.
Yeah, now the major enemies you can't ignore. If you land on a major enemy space, you have to fight him or run like a coward.
Alright, now what do you mean run like a coward? How do I run like a coward?
Basically, you just move your token back to the castle, and you drop any treasure that you have, and you lose, I think, 2 glory. I gotta look that
Well,
one
I
up.
have neither of either.
Right, so it really wouldn't affect you all that much right now.
But I could play this.
Yeah, which adds 2 to the die roll.
Which adds to my die roll.
Well, it actually moves. It's a good question. I should clarify that a little bit better. Does it actually add 2 to your die roll, or does it move you forward, as in clockwise, 2 spaces? Because it's different when this is out. That makes a difference. So I'm going to clarify that in the rules.
Okay.
For right now, I'm going to say it moves you forward 2 spaces clockwise. So even if you roll a 1, right, which would normally take you backward, then you can use that and it'll move you forward 2. Okay. It's not going to make the die a 3.
Okay, but for right now, I have to do something.
Yes.
And I have to give up or play a card.
Yes.
And I can only play this one or this one.
Yes.
Oh, you can't give up curses. You have to play them
play
Weight Ninja
All right,
and a curse.
what is your card, Alex, that I could trade with you?
His fate is a Testra medal. It's
defeat any enemy.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one.
That's why I swapped with him.
Yeah. So if I swapped this with you, I wouldn't be helping you at all, but I'd be helping myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, helping is maybe not. The fates are kind of difficult to project what's going to happen in the future.
If we're in this together.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this one is kind of easy as well, except for the fact that you have to be in the same region as somebody else. Again, the region thing might be something that changes in the future. I'm not sure.
So I don't swap this card per se. I swap this card.
Yeah, you cannot swap this card. This is in your hand. That's a deeds card, right? You swap fates, which are indicated by this symbol.
All right. So if I swap this with your Kragan, right now that makes no
Kraken.
difference.
It's a kraken, not a
Kraken.
kraken.
Okay, a kraken. All right. So right now that wouldn't make any difference unless 2, 3, unless I come up with a 5.
But even if you roll a 5, you can't defeat him because nobody has fight cards.
So I just sit there and get eaten by him.
Well, no, you run away.
I run away. Okay.
Yeah. There's no way for heroes to die in this game.
All right.
Yeah. You just run like a pussy.
Hey.
A
That's on
pussy
tape.
or a pussy?
A wussy. Let's use a wussy. All right. So.
That's what you get when you're a wussy.
All right. So the strategic advantage of this game would probably be for me to trade with you at
That's
this point.
fine. Sure, whatever.
Because you have the best chance of getting here eventually, but you're not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. I mean, even if I do get there, these guys take 2 fight cards, and I only have 1. Although I do have the Claymore, which I can basically use just like this. But it's a 1 use. It's gone after I use it. So if I landed on Kairos, I could defeat him, actually, if I used both of those.
Even without that card.
This card doesn't help you defeat anybody. This is your quest. This is what you have to do.
Oh. So
And
if I traded you, then I have to do that.
Yes.
And if you get 2 more than 2...
This is easier to fulfill than this is.
If you get more than 2
But this one
fates,
has better rewards.
then
And he has to do what?
He has to defeat any enemy.
Any enemy.
Any enemy. That, like I said, that's a pretty easy one because there's lots of enemies all over.
Yeah,
There's
all
minor
of us
enemies.
have
I'm closer to this one.
But again,
But
you
if I
need a
get
fight
a 5,
card.
yeah, and I don't have any fight cards.
Right, so neither of these really help you. The only
Actually-
advantage to switching fates right now is that
actually
you
you
don't have a
can't
curse.
go forward
Because I have to.
Yes.
You go
That's the only
backwards
advantage.
5
Yes, so choose one of those 2 and move on.
and fight him.
You're gonna switch. Okay, so you have to use that card and discard it.
This
not,
one.
Yeah, it's not in your hand anymore.
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, not the curse. Yeah, that one. Okay, so you swap the fates. You're done. It's Alex's turn. You're going to draw a new fate or a new
But
deeds
this
card.
one, now from now on, I have to only roll 1
No,
die.
it's not in play. You didn't play it.
Screen.
It's still in your hand.
Oh.
Guys, I found another smoke screen.
Okay, that's not something you need to tell everybody.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
Wait, which way?
clockwise.
That way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, what's it say?
Stuck in the muck. Lose a turn.
Okay, but
Draw the deeds.
yes, you do get a deeds card.
Oh no, powerful enemies!
Okay. So, you didn't play any deeds cards this turn, so you do have to play one now. If you can. However, I don't think you actually can because those are all either counter cards, escape cards, or treasure. And you don't have any treasure, so
what
you
do
just
I
hold on.
do if I can't?
Then you're fine. Just don't worry about it. Normally you would have to discard down to 5, but you've only got 5, so you're good. Okay? You're fine. Alright, my turn. I draw another deeds. So I got hit with a curse
He
here.
didn't draw one before he rolled.
Yes, you did.
Well, you
I'll take
can
you another
use
smoke
that.
screen.
Oh, okay.
Wilbur has to be.
Yeah, so I drew myself a curse. Eventually I will have to play this on myself, but currently it's just in my hand.
Yep.
I might be able to get out of it somehow. But
Wilbur
we'll
needs to
see how things go.
eat.
So next I will roll. I got a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Wilbur
8,
is
9.
hungry.
Were crabs.